friends, my name is Gabrielle and welcome to FrumiousReads, and today I am going to be doing my Spooktober Readathon challenge wrap-up, and that is a mouthful. So for those of you guys who don't know, Spooktober is a challenge that happens all throughout the month of October, and the creator was Vanessa from Paper Fairy, and if you guys have not heard of it, I'll link to her video in the description down below. This past week was Readathon week, and you had a bunch of different challenges for books to read, and every time you finished a challenge, you got points. So I'm gonna go through and list the challenges that I finished and the books that I used to finish them. So first things first, Spooktober is broken up into different clans, and I chose the Frumious clan, and how it works is you can win points both for your clan with the specific clan challenges, or you can win Readathon challenges that aren't specific to any clan. I'm going to first do the Readathon challenges that are not specific to any clan. Challenge number 1 is to join Spooktober and read a spooky book of your choice. For that, I decided to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone because I haven't read the first book in a while, and honestly, I feel like no book really captures Halloween more than Harry Potter, especially because there is that iconic Halloween scene with the troll. Challenge number 2 was to clan up and read a book with your mascot. For me, I chose the Frumious clan, whose leader was Derby Lane Reading, and I'm assuming that the mascot for that is basically anything with witches and wizards, so for that I also chose Harry Potter because really, I feel like this is a pretty good mascot. Challenge number 3 is to enter a spooky house, so to read a book that has a haunted house featured in it. For that, I decided to do Lock and Key, the volume 1, Welcome to Lovecraft. This book is fantastic. The house is super spooky, and I definitely can't wait to read more in the Lock and Key series. Challenge number 4 was to perform an incantation or to read a short story or poetry collection. For that, I decided to read Starlight Drive, which is written by John Palacino, and it has 4 short stories that are related to Halloween. For me, my favorite one was Phantasma, which is where a young boy during the Dia de los Muertos festival searches for his cousin who has previously died. I think it ties into the Brujas theme pretty well. So yeah, this was a really great, just really fast read, and I enjoyed that all the short stories were about Halloween. Challenge number 5 is to face your fears, which is to read a book about something that you either are or have been afraid of. And the book I chose for this may not fit the theme quite so well, but I chose Over the Edge, Death in the Grand Canyon, which is written by Michael P. Giglieri and Thomas M. Myers. I chose this book because I planned a trip to go to the Grand Canyon with a friend of mine. As we were planning this trip, my mom bought me this book because she said that I am the kind of adventurous person who would probably get too close to the edge and then fall to my death. So the entire time I was at the Grand Canyon, I was as far away from the edge as possible because I was terrified of just falling to my death. I feel like that's one of the worst ways to die because you have to physically watch your end come. So I preferred to not even tempt fate there. If that wasn't enough, I decided to kind of pick and choose certain challenges from the overall clan challenges. So each clan had 2 specific challenges for it. So for the Frumious clan, one challenge was Book of Shadows, to read a book about the occult. I decided to read City of Light and City of Poison, which was written by Holly Tucker. It's actually a true crime account of the first police chief of Paris in the 1800s. He was hired to solve this wave of poisoning that happened in Paris, and it would happen to both kind of the upper class, royalty, as well as the civilians. And it turns out that it was done by these witches who were who had connections to the royal family, and certain people in the royal family were poisoning others to either inherit land or money or their place in line for the throne. So it was really interesting. The writer did a really good job of making it feel like it was an actual story instead of being a historical account. So I found that was really interesting. So that is the one that I chose for a book about the occult. And then the next challenge for the Frumious clan was to have a circle of protection. So to read a book while surrounded by crystals or candles. And as you can see in the picture, I definitely completed that challenge as well. I got to make the room smell like pumpkin spice, so that was also fantastic. And then because I'd kind of hit all of the challenges that I thought I could at first, I decided to kind of pick and choose from other clans' challenges. So the first challenge from another clan that I decided to try and take on tied into my own clan's challenges. So reading a book at night is from the Lycan clan, and so I tied that in with my protective circle challenge, and was able to accomplish 2 of those at once. So there was that. And then from the Lycan clan as well, I decided to read a popular book that I did not want to miss out on. And for that, I chose to read Shadow and Bone by Leah Bardugo because I felt like the shadows tied in well with Halloween. I have read the Six of Crows series and absolutely loved it, so I wanted to get more into the Grishaverse. Leah Bardugo is a really interesting writer, and this book wasn't what I was expecting either, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, and then the next challenge I stole from another clan was from the Undead Brides clan, and it was Say Yes to the Dress, which is to read a book with a dress on the cover. For that, I decided to read The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang, and it is about a prince who is next in line for the throne and is trying to find someone to marry, but turns out actually doesn't like always dressing like a prince and feels more comfortable when he's dressed in a dress. And so in order to kind of fulfill this need and go out among society without being recognized, he hires a dressmaker named Francis, who is the only one who knows his secret other than his bodyguard. So it was actually a really cute, really fun story. I really enjoyed it, and it's got an amazing dress on the front. So that book was really fun to read too. And then taking a challenge from the Black Cats clan, I decided to read a book with a great partnership, and which is the Witch is Familiar challenge. And for that, I decided to read Wires and Nerves by Marissa Meyer because this book has a really strong group of friends and they all are really willing to help each other even when it's really difficult. So I think that there was a great examples of partnership here and learning how to rely on others and to rely on friends when you need that help. And this book also ties into the other challenge from the Corpse Brides, which is to read a book that you predict you'll love forever. I absolutely love this book because it was just so fun and it was such a different add-on to the Lunar Chronicles series, and I had wanted to read this book for a while, and it was interesting getting to see all of the characters actually drawn out and their pictures, and I would love to read future volumes in this series. And then finally, the last book I read during this readathon week was Lore by Erin Mankey. This is the Monstrous Creatures edition because I figured we already had all the creature themes. I chose this book to qualify for the 2 challenges from the Vampire Bats. So first of which was to read a book that you sunk your teeth into from the very first sentence, and that was definitely this one because not only did the cover grab my attention right away, but the very first sentence is Hollywood is obsessed. And I was like, yes, this is true, so let me read more about this. So I definitely wanted to read more of it. And then the other challenge is to read a book with wings or a winged creature on the cover. And then on the cover of this, you could see that the skeleton has wings. So this qualified for both of those challenges. Those were all the books that I read for this readathon week. Weirdly enough, I didn't read the group book, so I couldn't find the book anywhere. And I was just like, you know what, maybe I'll just read it on my own time because it looks like it's really good. That is all that I have for you guys today. I would love to know what you think of this video in the comments down below. And if you participated in Spooktober, I would love to know what books you read or what books you plan on reading during the end of the month. Weirdly enough, this was not all the books that I read in October, but since nonfiction November is coming up, I'm going to be talking a lot more about the nonfiction books that I started reading this month. So make sure you check in for my nonfiction November weekly wrap up to hear about all of the nonfiction books that I've been reading lately. If you like this video, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. I upload bookish videos twice a week as well as reaction videos whenever something cool comes out that I want to react to. Follow me on Facebook or at my other social media that is linked in the description down below if you're interested. And I hope you guys all have a fantastically spooky Halloween if you celebrate it, or just a really good Wednesday if you don't. And my camera died, so I'm just gonna finish that here. So as for now, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.